Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video we would be seeing on what is source freshness. Okay, as we know, we already saw in schema.yaml file inside models we will be declaring the sources. Right now if you see, I have sources, the name, database, schema and the tables. All the tables will be declared here, and we know why we have to follow the source and all. Right, in the model files, instead of directly referring to youtube.restaurants, if you use source of YouTube restaurant, we'll have the more advantage. I have already explained, and to recall again, if you see, so let's assume if you don't follow this approach, you have to, wherever you have the table name, you have to mention youtube.restaurant, youtube.restaurants. Let's assume the dev database name is youtube devdb.restaurant. Okay, so in every of your model files, all the model files, you have to mention youtube devdb.restaurant. What if you go to prod? Let's assume the database name has been changed from youtube devdb to youtube prodb.restaurant. So in every of the model file you have to mention again. But in case if you follow this approach here, in the dev environment you can just do devdb here, and in the prod you can just change it to prod. That's it. You don't have to mention, because we are not referring to the database name, we are referring to this particular name. So just one line of change will be there if you follow the source approach like this. If you don't follow, and if you have to mention the database.schema name directly, you have to change multiple files. This is just one example. So this kind of advantage will be there when we use the source like this. Okay, when you try to read the source table like this. And another thing, and the topic for this today video is source freshness. So what is source freshness? I mean, let's assume based on our final models, there are some reports being generated. Let's assume we don't know that the source data has been refreshed or not. We are not aware. So in that case, reports gets impacted, right? In case if the data has not been refreshed and if you run the model on the old data. So DBT provides an option called DBT source freshness, where in the schema.yaml, inside the table, or if you want you can give it for the all tables at a time here as well, the same parameters you can just paste it directly under the schema as well, or else if you want for a specific table you can mention here. So we have to give a new tag freshness and warn after, error after, and what is the field in the table it has to refer. Okay, so this is my table. My table name is restaurants, and it is referring to one of the audit column called sale timestamp, when the sale has happened. Okay, so when you mention the sale timestamp here, what it checks is in this particular table and in this column, it will check, I mean, what we have mentioned here, count 12 period hour, count 12 period day, which means it will warn in case if there is no change or update in the source in the past 12 hours. Now it will throw an error in case if there is no update in the source table in the past 12 days. That's what these two fields meant to be. Okay, so and which field it will check in the source? It checks this particular field, whatever you mentioned for this tag loaded field. So it will check in the sale timestamp whether there is any update in the last 12 hours, then it will throw a warning. If you see here, when I first ran this dbt source freshness command, it has thrown me a warning. Then I went to DB and I have updated this with the current timestamp. If you see, there are records with the current timestamp. If you see, all these records have been updated. I have updated based on the main course. That's what my particular update statement is. So when I did that and when I ran this command again, dbt source freshness, now it is passed because there is an update in the source within the past 12 hours, right? So it will not throw the warning. But for the error, we are checking for the 12 days. My records in the table are updated in the last few minutes only. So it is passed. So like that, we can easily check whether our source tables have been updated or not. You can check it on the schema level just by pasting it inside the schema here under schema, or you can check for a specific table as well. And the command to check that is dbt source freshness. Okay, so now let's try it out. I'll go here and I'll update all these to some old timestamp. Let me give 2020. Before that, let me just do the dbt freshness command. If you run it dbt source freshness, it is passing because there are records which are updated in the last minute. Now let me update it to 2025 0101. Okay, now when I run it, see, I'll run for each and every record. Okay, so I ran it, all the 25 records got updated, and now when I do the select statement, if you see, they are updated on the 1st and today is the 4th Jan. So now if you see here, what am I mentioning? If there is no update in the last 12 hours, please do throw a warning and this particular condition will satisfy. This will not satisfy because my update happened in the last 3 days ago only. So now if I run the same command again, I'll be getting the warning. See, I got the warning. Now I'll come here and again update. See, now I am updating each and every row here. Okay, now 25 records got updated. Now I am running it again. Now if I come and do it, it should be passed. That's it. So this is how we can easily check the source freshness using DBT, just with one simple command, DBT source freshness, by mentioning these details in the schema.yaml. That's it. Also, the purpose of this particular attribute is that in case if we have a very large source table, we can give some kind of where condition to filter out the data and then check the where condition. So here I'm filtering the sales timestamp or the audit column based on this particular condition. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.